there, Michelle. How are you doing today?
Good, Lindsay. I have a question for you.
Oh, yes, I'm ready.
Have you ever felt like you were on a wild goose chase?
Wow, that's a big question. The journey to find an apartment in New
Yep,
York
that's a great one.
might have had tones of that. There was definitely a lot of chasing up and down midtown, downtown, uptown, running running from subway stop to the next to apartment, and it's just the hardest thing I've ever done in my life, Michelle,
Yeah,
getting an
that is
apartment in
a
New York.
oh yeah, that's a great example of how this expression might be used. So, guys, well, we are here today on our Saturday episode. So hopefully you're relaxed today. Maybe you're going out for to the gym. Maybe you're sipping your coffee. However you're
Yes.
listening, thank you for being here with us on this Saturday. So
Yeah.
today, we are going to talk about this fun expression, a wild goose chase. But
Mhm.
before we get into that, we want to remind you guys about our really great app.
Yeah, we have an app, guys. We have an iOS Android app. It's custom just for All Ears English. And this is a place you'll want to go if you want to deepen your learning with the show. Of course, over there, you can listen to every episode for free. But if you become a premium member in the app, that's when you get to see the transcripts right there on your phone. You also
Yeah.
get tappable words in each transcript. There's 5 to 7 tappable words in each episode. If you tap on those words, you'll see the definition, you'll save them to your personal power list. And at the end of each week, now we are doing a weekly summary role play where Aubrey and I take all the vocabulary words
Mm,
from the week, not all of them, many of them. We bring them into one role play, right? So we're taking
wow.
words from different episodes. We're talking about what they mean to review them again. Then we're doing a role play using those different words. And this is what we actually need
Very
to do
cool.
to touch back to those words
Right.
in a review format to make sure we fully learn them. I think for our listeners, a lot of what they tell us is I learn a word once and then I forget it and I don't know how to use it. This is how we actually are able to use it on the spot is by reviewing.
Mhm.
Okay.
I love that. That
Yeah,
that that is so helpful because, you might listen to an episode and then maybe you just go on to the next episode and you forget
exactly.
about it. And this is
Yes.
just such a great way to put it all together
Hmm.
in a larger way. How can we fit these words all together? Because these episodes don't just exist totally on their own, right? This is
Yes.
all about how can we connect everything together in real life, because
Yes.
real life isn't just one topic, next
100%.
topic, next
100%,
topic,
Michelle.
right?
Exactly. You got it. Sometimes you're going to need to grab an episode from a topic about X when you're talking about Y. It's going to be
Mhm,
completely in a different context. So, what you
mhm.
see in those
Yeah,
weekly summaries is those words are moved into a new context,
perfect.
which is
Yes,
really, really cool. So, guys, that
that
is
is
only
awesome.
over there for premium members in the app. So, go over to allearsenglish.com/app, choose Android or iOS, download the app, give it a try, do the trial, and check it out. All
Mhm.
right. Good
All
stuff.
right, and I bet this will, be in a summary. Wild goose chase. What in the world does that mean?
Yeah, I love this. This is so fun. Oh my gosh. This means that you are or were searching for something that's impossible to get or that you just won't find. Right.
Mhm.
So maybe you go all over the place and you're looking and you're trying to get something done or find something and it just doesn't happen. Um, or it's extremely difficult. So we can use this on literal levels and metaphorical levels, right?
Right.
And that's what I love about the advanced English. In C1, we talk about using metaphors, speaking
Mhm.
metaphorically. This is where we're headed as a community to move towards abstract English. So high
Right.
level, so high level.
Yeah, I mean, so it's not always used to say that you are but okay, so the meaning of an actual of a wild goose chase would be that it is actually impossible to find,
Yes.
right? Something it's I'm on a wild goose chase. It doesn't it's not going to happen, right?
Yeah.
But sometimes we say I feel like I'm on a wild goose chase, which is more it seems that way, but I know that I can find it, but it's just everything is all over the place. But it doesn't always mean, oh, it's not going to happen,
Sure.
right?
Yeah. Just emphasizing it feels crazy. Things feel crazy.
Right. Yeah. Do you use this, Lindsay?
Uh, yeah, of course I have. Historically in my life, I have used it for sure. Lately, not as much, but I feel like I used it a lot, or my mom might have used it a lot. I don't know. It could be even. I don't know. For some reason, this makes me think of the wild turkeys that cross the road. It's holiday time. We're eating turkey.
Oh
It
my
makes me think maybe
gosh.
you're making Thanksgiving dinner and you
Yeah.
have a guest that demands, 100% genuine real cranberry sauce, but
Ah.
you only have like big box stores in your town that don't have fresh cranberries, and
Right.
you go on a wild goose chase all over your county to find fresh
Right.
cranberries for this person, right?
Right. Yeah. Oh, that's a great example. Yeah. I use this for sure. I don't know. I guess I'm just constantly on a wild goose chase. I don't know, but I just
Is that your life, Michelle? I love that.
I
Love
think so,
that for
maybe.
you.
No, thank you. That's a so again, it doesn't have to mean if you really are in a wild goose chase, it's probably you're not gonna find it. But if you say, "Oh, I feel like it," or it's like I'm on a wild goose chase in a more metaphorical way, it's you're probably gonna find it's just annoying. So
Mhm.
let's go for some other examples. I mean, Lindsay, this touches back on your New York example.
Yes.
I mean, you did find an apartment eventually,
Oh,
but
I
it
did.
was like a wild goose chase. So yeah, looking for a house when the inventory is low. I
Mhm,
know
mhm.
people who are currently looking for houses or have had to stop their search because they just don't there's just not enough inventory. So
Yeah, yeah.
you could say, I want to move and we've been looking everywhere, but it's like we're on a wild goose chase.
Yeah, I think anytime looking for any product, any item that's just rare, hard to find, unexpected, that's the vibe that we're going for, right?
Right. Oh,
Yeah.
like, or even now because, yeah, the holiday time, if people might be searching it makes me think of, maybe it's different now because we have the internet, but if somebody's looking for the hottest toy for their kid,
Oh my
and
gosh,
that's when
yes.
people get into the fights of the
Yes. Don't you think there's a lot of holiday movies that come out all about that? This kid has his heart set on this one toy and he just
Yeah.
has to get it.
Yep.
And at the end of the movie, will he get his toy? Right?
Yeah.
There's just so many I love holiday movies, by the way. They're so light and
Oh,
fun. Yeah.
I do too, I do too. It's a very special time of year. So, okay, so here's another one. Lizzie, what's the next example?
Trying to find an outfit to wear as a bridesmaid in a certain color that is really rare. Oh my gosh, yes. This is always hard if you're honored to be selected as part of a bridal party. It's a wonderful thing, but you might have a challenge ahead of you in terms of getting the right thing to wear, especially if it's they're not just telling you what to wear. If they're saying, "Oh, broadly try to get
Something in
this
this
color."
color, right. But so, for example, the bride wants us all to wear a color called peacock blue, but I'm on a wild goose chase trying to find anything in that color.
Oh, and it's so hard because, you don't wanna stress the bride out. You don't wanna say the wrong thing in front of the bride. There's a lot of
Right.
deference given to the bride, right,
Yeah.
during these times, and so in
Yes.
the background, the bridal party is always going crazy, and the bride might not even know it.
Yeah, right. It's true. It's so true.
Okay, Michelle, we are back to continue on. Now, what would be another example? Let's give more context.
Yeah. So another example could be if you're trying to find a job in a bad economy. Okay, so
Interesting.
maybe there aren't that many jobs. So you could say, I've been applying to jobs everywhere and networking, but I'm on a wild goose chase.
Yeah. It's just kind of when you resort to the phrase wild goose chase, you're trying to say things are getting kind of crazy, right?
Yeah, right.
Things are
You're a
feeling a
little
little grim.
exasperated.
Yes.
Grim. Good word. And exasperated.
Exasperated is a good word. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Oh
Wow.
yeah. These are guys. These are going to be on the app for sure.
Mhm.
Or what's one more example? This
Yeah.
up here. You see it?
So let's see. Yeah. If you're trying to get signatures for documents that you need and you're spending a lot of time running all over, for example, maybe you need to get something notarized. You need to
Yeah.
print something out, but you don't have a printer at your house. It just
It's
goes,
yeah.
I've felt this way over the last couple of years dealing with my aunt's, all of her financial stuff,
Ah.
family. Yeah, it's pretty intense. It's
Do you
pretty
have a
intense.
printer?
I actually do. And I'm glad I
I
do.
figure you would need to.
I
Yeah.
do have a printer. Yeah, yeah.
I
Every
haven't had
household.
a printer, and, like, most of the time, I don't need one. Sorry, I think I interrupted you, I'm
No, that's
sorry.
okay. Yeah. Mhm.
I haven't had one in years, but there's and most of the time, it's okay, but there is that time when it comes up and you're like,
Yeah.
"Ah,
Yeah.
why don't I have a printer?"
Totally. I
I'm
think
gonna
every
get one.
household probably should have a printer,
I think so.
especially if you're doing certain things like dealing with estates and people just like wrapping up their things when they pass away. There's a lot of that that has to go on. So here's a sample sentence. Okay, so we need to get this notarized, but the notary isn't there and it's due by 12, right? Man, are we on a wild goose chase? I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
Yeah, that's a good example of when it might be. Yeah, all the
that's
forms.
funny.
It's just it becomes kind of a pain.
I didn't even
Like,
see your example, and I thought about a notary for some reason
oh,
because
real
you have to call them. Is it when is the notary in? Oh, the notary's not in today.
right.
It's just like, oh,
Right.
are you
Oh
serious?
god. Yeah, it's always some sort of paperwork,
Uh,
maybe you're something a title of a car,
oh god.
maybe you're purchasing a house or leasing an apartment, and you have to get things, you have to prove, your bank statements or whatever.
And sometimes it
Woo.
never ends. You just end up in this spiral of bureaucracy. I think I shared on the other podcast with Aubrey of trying to retitle a classic car that belongs to a family member, but there's no license plate, there's no title, there's no registration, and it's like a foreign car. Like, how do you do that
Oh my
in the state of
god.
California? We're going to find out.
You're gonna go on a wild goose chase.
In
Yes.
the middle of it
Well,
right
good
now.
luck.
So
Good
yeah,
luck,
so
Lindsay.
it's when things become extreme. They become extreme, right? It's not like I'm just going to
Yeah.
go and find the thing and come home. No, no, no.
Yeah. Right. 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 It's just it's interesting because it's used kind of in a when you're frustrated or exasperated, right? But it's also very versatile because you can use it kind of humorously or
Yeah.
sarcastically. So it doesn't always have to be this extreme situation. Not all the time. I think most of the time it is.
Mhm.
But you could say, "Oh man, now I have to go on a wild goose chase to get all my kids school supplies." And just
Yeah.
it doesn't have to be extreme. It can just be like, oh, I have to go searching around for something.
Yeah, I think this is useful because you need a way to say this is intense. Right?
Right,
Or this is annoying. I mean, there's
right.
only
It's
so many
annoying.
hours in the day. And I really get annoyed by this kind of thing.
Me-
When things are harder than they need to be. I just want to be
Yes.
spending my
Oh,
time hanging out with my dog or outside hiking. I
right.
don't want to be running around chasing a notary, you know?
I know that notary. Yeah, sometimes I need to find a neighbor notary or
Yeah.
something. Just like
You can do a
you
mobile notary, but it's expensive. Like, they'll
really?
come to
I didn't
you.
know.
Yeah, they'll come to you. But, I mean, they
Oh
charge
wow.
you for it,
I
big
bet.
time.
Yeah.
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 Anyways. Do we have time
Lindsay,
for
what
these?
is a notary? I'm
Okay,
sorry.
just to be okay, we haven't defined this. I think
I
our listeners
realize.
probably have of course, they have the same thing, guys. So, a notary is if you're signing an important document, certain important documents require that you sign in the presence of a notary, someone who's been trained to say, yes, I've checked this person's ID. They're who they say they are. We are here in this place. This is the date. This is the time. They stamp it. And then that kind of certifies
Like
the signing of the thing.
that cute little seal that
Yep,
they
the little
do. I
seal.
love it.
Yes.
Um, well, it's up to you. Do we have time? We're still kind of early on.
I think we have a few minutes. Let's do it. Let's do a few of
Let's do it.
these. So,
All right.
all right. So, a lost cause. This is the same idea, kind of. I'm trying to
Right.
find my glasses, but I think it's a lost cause. So, this is a little different because you have
Yes.
already decided it's just you're not gonna find the thing. A wild goose
Right.
chase, you could still have some hope, right? But by the time it's a lost cause,
It's over.
yeah.
Right, exactly. And I think we could do a whole follow-up on a lost cause.
Mhm.
But yeah, definitely could be used in a similar way. I think we'll skip the next one.
Okay. Yeah.
Let's do waste of time. I
Mhm.
mean, okay,
Mhm.
well, this has been a waste of time. We didn't find anything we needed. So that's more after, well, it doesn't have to be after the fact. You could say, I think this will be a waste of time, but
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah, a lot of unnecessary steps and things. Yeah. And then in vain. I think we're
Mm,
looking in vain over here. I really think Franny threw out what we needed. This should be its own episode in vain.
in
I
vain.
mean, we've seen this in songs and poems and movies, right?
Yeah.
Doing
Yep.
something in vain means you're kind of misguided in your search.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not going to happen for another reason, right?
Yep.
Mhm.
Yes. Yeah, so we can definitely go deeper into these examples, these other ones soon, but let's do a role play on a couple of these now.
Yeah.
So here, Lindsay and I are friends looking for a birthday present for our other friend.
Okay. Here we go. Go ahead, Michelle.
Oh,
It's you first.
I'm sorry. Here we go. So she told me she wants a fondue making set.
Oh boy, I don't even know where to start. Okay, I don't see anything.
I think it's a lost cause.
I don't think we're looking in vain. We may just need to try another store.
Okay, well, I'll try one more, but it feels like we might be on a wild goose chase.
Doesn't feel like we tried that hard.
No, we're like looking on one shelf at once.
Like if it's not in the aisle that I'm walking down, then we're
I
not.
might I'm not even gonna ask anybody.
That's funny.
Up,
Oh,
must we must
man.
not like this friend
We
very
must
much.
not like them very much.
Or it sounds
Jeez.
like I don't, for sure.
Yeah.
You have a little more hope. I'm like,
I have a little more
"Oh,
hope.
man,
Right.
can't do it."
Yeah, yeah, for sure. So you said, so I said, "Oh boy, I don't even know where to start." Okay, I don't see anything. Not trying hard here, Michelle. And then you said,
Said, "I think it's a lost cause. I'm ready to give up."
I don't and then I said, "I don't think we're looking in vain," meaning I think we could actually find this,
It's
it
funny.
exists out there, right? This thing she
Uh,
wants. It is a real thing. Yeah.
yeah. And I
Mhm.
said, "Okay, well, I'll try." I'm sorry, this is so
It's
funny.
okay.
I'll try one more, but it feels like we might be on a wild goose chase.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, yeah, that's the quality of the gifts you get and how much thought was put into it, right? We can always judge our friendships, I guess, how in it are our friends at that
Yeah,
moment, right? Into the friendship.
I don't see it.
Yeah. Michelle, is
Oh,
there another episode our listeners could check out here?
guys, head on over to episode 2315 was Who Asked You? Rude Phrases to Avoid in English.
All right. All right. So we've talked about what this phrase means, the intensity of it. Is there a takeaway here? I mean, a human connection takeaway, what it means for us? Why
Right. Well,
we, yeah. Mhm.
I think that it's really used when we are kind of in an intense state, right?
Yeah.
You're kind of like we've used that word exasperated. You're just kind of over it. You didn't unlike the role play, it's not about looking at one shelf in the store. Something is very annoying, it's become irritating, or you think it will be that way. So I think it's just good to connect with people over this feeling. I mean, even though it's a somewhat negative feeling, it's a good way to connect and to vent and to share maybe what will or won't be a waste of time.
Yeah, because if you've had a experience that's been very exasperating, again, maybe you're physically out of breath when you're saying you've been in a wild goose chase, maybe. You
Mhm.
want to share that feeling. Like you said, Michelle,
Right.
you want others to really understand how hard it was to find this thing, or maybe you haven't found this thing yet.
Yeah.
Okay. So you can share your life with people in a
Yeah,
sense. Yeah.
definitely.
That's what it comes
Oh,
down
man.
to. Nice. All
All
right.
right.
All right,
Well, thank you
Michelle.
guys for listening.
I hope you don't go on any wild goose chases in the future anytime
Thank
soon,
you.
Michelle. I'm
Same.
hoping. Yes, yes.
Same to you, Lindsay.
All right. You have a good day, Michelle. Bye.
All right, bye.